I know you're mad at Daddy, but you better be good.
Are you talking to your dog or your kids?
My dog. My kids are locked upstairs.
Grading Connections Podcast, episode 20.
Wow, I didn't even realize that. That's awesome.
We are episode 20 right now. Can you believe it?
That's awesome.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's been fun. I look forward to this every week.
Absolutely. We had a great podcast last week, and now we are up and beyond the 4th of July holiday, which I kind of incorrectly posted on Facebook that it wasn't a holiday, but yet apparently...
Wait, did you say you incorrectly posted?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I admit it.
All right.
But it kind of, because it's not, it says observed. Well, okay, yes, but it's not the actual holiday.
No, but because you and I are used to working holidays and weekends and whatever the heck else we need to work, it doesn't affect you. But for people that look forward to having a day off and only have a certain number of paid holidays off of their day job, and then one happens to fall on a weekend, you need to give them the Friday off.
What's the day off?
Not everyone can be a workaholic. Stop being so red. Have a little yellow. Come on.
I'm certainly a red. I'm a lot yellow too.
Not today.
No, not today. Chop today. Chop. So what do we have for topics today on the podcast, Vickie?
Well, you shared a customer service story last week.
Yeah.
And I had one from this week that unfortunately I didn't have the positive side. It was just like this super negative experience that I found incredibly annoying. And it was just something simple. My little boys needed new pajamas. They're growing really fast, and they wanted new pajamas. So I took them to a local department store on Monday, and they both wanted mini pajamas. And of course, they only had them in Noah's size. And so I said, no big deal. We got to go pick Annie up from guitar lessons. We'll swing by. It's right next to the mall, and the Sears is on the end, literally across the street from the building where she takes guitar.
Okay.
We'll run into Sears. We'll see if they have any. If they do, great. We'll get them, and we'll leave. We walked in. They had one pair that was his size. He loved them. They were different than his brothers. They were on sale. Get up to the counter. I've got 5 minutes, to pay and go pick up my daughter. And their terminals were down. So they said, well, if you have cash, we can take that. But we can't take a debit card. And I said, well, can I write you a check? No. Well, I didn't happen to have cash. Well, I did, but I only have Canadian cash because I forgot to exchange it when I left last time.
You still have Canadian cash? So I'm just
saving it until I go back to Toronto. I didn't have any cash on me.
Okay.
So I said to the girl, okay, well, since you can't take my payment, and I do have 2 forms of payment available, I had a debit card and a checkbook, and you can't take it, would you please hold them until Thursday when I'm back on this part of town? And I know they don't usually hold for 3 days.
Okay.
But they also usually take my debit card.
Right.
So, of course, she's not equipped to make that decision. I said, I can't do that. I said, well, can you call your manager then, please? Because this is not an unreasonable request.
No.
So the manager comes over and agrees to it. And then in a really condescending tone says, we don't normally do this. As she's writing up the hold slip until Thursday. And I'm getting more and more frustrated. And I said, I know, but you usually take my debit card. So this is why you're going to hold them for me until I'm back on this part of town.
So, I normally don't shop at Sears either, but...
I don't either. I mean, honestly, I don't know that I've ever bought anything there besides appliances. I bought my refrigerator there a while back, and it was great. But just because I didn't want to go into the mall and waste time, and it was right there, I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So her lessons are Mondays and Thursdays. So yesterday we go back. And I asked the manager, I said, where do I pick them up? Here at this counter or somewhere else? And she said, no, they're going to be at merchandise pickup. And I'm thinking, okay, that's ridiculous. That's like where all the tools and appliances are.
Right.
But I said, fine. So yesterday I go in and I go to merchandise pickup, and it takes me 20 minutes to even get a person to come and talk to me. And of course he can't find a little bag with a pair of kids' pajamas in them in the midst of all of the appliances and stuff. So finally I said, you know what, I'm going to go upstairs and see if they're still at the counter where I left them on Monday. Walk up, same girl, same manager that I talked to on Monday. They remembered me. And those pajamas were nowhere to be found in their counter, in their hold area. I mean, I watched them put them in a bag. Finally, I'm getting frustrated. They don't know how to solve the problem. I walk over to the pajama department in the kids department, and sure enough, somebody had put them back.
Oh.
And I was pissed, and I was late picking my daughter up from her lessons, and I was just like, you wasted so much of my time.
Right.
I was just like, it just doesn't seem like it should be that hard. I mean, I know it wasn't their fault that there was an issue with the terminals, and it wasn't just Sears. It was actually that whole area, the whole mall.
Yeah.
That wasn't their fault. But as a customer, make it easy for me. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to drive 45 minutes just to go pick up a pair of pajamas. I'll do it when I'm in town a couple days later. I don't know. I was just aggravated.
And how this applies to you, dear viewer, as a DJ, is the fact of not having antiquated systems. We need to make it as easy as possible for people to do business with us. So, for example, this is something I share in the Sales of Solutions workshop. So whoever's viewing this right now, you get a freebie. And that is, on your website, ensure that you have a way for people to schedule an appointment with you live right there on your website. Your website should be evolved beyond just the digital brochure and actually be an interactive tool that people can actually use to make a sale.
Yes.
Go figure. So
thank you for turning that venting session into a teaching moment.
But it's what it is. And having, in their case, they should have had a solution written down where an email was shot out to you or a text saying that your merchandise is in, ready for pickup, able to go right now. Or, something along the lines of much better
that girl,
customer
she put
service.
it in a plastic bag and wrote a handwritten tag that said, my name and phone number and hold until Thursday and put the date and stuff. And even that, and I think part of it too is equipping your employees to make decisions.
Yes.
And I think that relates to us too, is that there are some things that they need to know that they're empowered to do.
Yes. And for tailored weddings, for us, it's, my staff is empowered to give clients a free hour overtime or free half hour overtime, whatever they need to do, if they have messed up a introduction or a first dance, something has gone majorly wrong in that scenario at a wedding reception, or the power goes out for more than 5 minutes, then and you can't get it back up and running right away, then yes, absolutely, you're empowered to give them a free hour overtime, and please call me and let's discuss anything further. But yeah, you need to empower your people to make decisions. To even just now, we were talking about this before we jumped on the podcast.
Yes, I caught part of that before we started recording.
With Allison, and she was speaking with a local bar manager who was looking to hire her, and she was referred to her to bring in and do an event, do a bar, work a bar. And Allison, I let her handle the phone call because she's the point of contact. They asked for her. As long as I know.
And that's what it is. They're not booking music.
Right.
They're looking for talent. And that was.
And they contacted her. And so you have to look at this from a sales standpoint too. If they contact you and they've heard great things about you, why are they contacting you? There must be something that you have, or you did, or they saw you deliver.
There's something that they want that they're not getting from somebody else.
Exactly.
And they think they can get it from you.
Exactly. That set you apart. So you have leverage in that situation. I think too often we don't realize that, and we don't ask that question of why me. And it's not to be a conceited way. That's not the point at all. But just to understand truly what it is that client is looking for.
Yeah.
I understand that you just recently ran into a fellow Gitomer groupie not really ran into, but heard of, and that's Sally Hogshead. Is that right?
I wish I would have run into her. She strikes me, what little I know, as someone that I would love to be friends with. But no, actually, it's because my Toastmasters magazine just came yesterday.
Yeah.
And she's on the front cover. Now, the article was written more about her. It wasn't actually written by her.
Okay.
But yeah, well, first of all, the title "Fascinate Your Audience" caught me right away because as a presenter, as a speaker, as a workshop instructor, and also as a master of ceremonies, you know, that is something that I was drawn to. And then the screenshot of the photo that they put in the article.
Slide that over a little more. Let's see that. Let's put it up for everyone to see. No, back. Don't change who you are. Become more of who you are. Nice.
I love that. And for me as a personality trainer, I mean, I don't say in those exact words, but that's the whole premise behind my workshop and everything I teach at my seminars and in my books. It's you can't change your personality, but if we understand it more, we can play to your strengths. And then how do you work on minimizing those weaknesses? And I think she just has a brilliant way of saying that and teaching that. And so I did have some fun. I went onto her website and took her online test and her leadership assessment. And I guess it's kind of cool. It's password protected. But as a Toastmaster, we get a free code. And I got to go on and take that for free.
Nice.
But no, I just, I see everything a little bit differently, I think, because I'm so steeped in personalities.
Yeah.
I mean, I took my kids the other day to go see Inside Out. And I can't just watch that as a cute kids movie. I'm seeing it through the eyes of a personality trainer.
Sure.
And I'm analyzing, the feelings and what traits come out and, which ones are stronger based on which personality type that character must be. And it's kind of messed up. But it's part of who I am and how I think.
Totally get that.
But I mean, yeah. Well, did you know that in my workshop, one of the things we do is we do a personality assessment of all of the Marvel superheroes that are in the Avengers?
Did not know that.
Yeah, it's
I gotta
really fun.
take your workshop. I haven't even taken it myself yet.
Well, it's because I haven't done it in the States yet. I've only done it in Canada.
When's the next one here in the States?
When the one we're doing together in New York.
Well, then I'll be taking it in New York.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, because I'll be doing it in the morning when yours is in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's great. I go right from being the student to being the teacher. Great.
Well, we're just flipping roles. I'll be sitting in on yours in the afternoon.
It's all good.
Yeah.
All good.
It'll be fun. But yeah, I see things, and I was just really drawn to the way she presents it. And even though I love the system that I teach, I'm not ever going to be that person that says, oh, this is the only one, that's worth anything. There's a lot of great systems out there, and it is really fun to see what other people do and how they can take the same basic premise. And that's what I do. I mean, I didn't invent personality training. It's been going on for thousands of years. Literally, ancient Greece is when they trace the study of personalities back to 400 BC.
Right.
It's not me. But what's unique to me is how I spin it, how I present it.
Well, and how you're able to simplify it to those of us who may have only had one way of personality training in the past. I knew about DISC training, and I took DISC training at least 2 or 3 times in my life before I met you.
Have you had this experience with DISC that everybody that teaches it seems to have the letters standing for something different?
I know I've seen
it seems
that.
Like the last 3 articles I've read or people I've talked to, the letters don't stand for the same thing.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, and this is a quick me off the top of my head, I haven't looked at anything in a while. Dominant, influence, steadiness, compliant.
Yeah, I've heard cautious. Off the
top of my head,
and
I don't remember that. I'm not sure about the C one because that's the furthest from my personality. It's not even funny.
I know you and me both.
But
I think that's why I struggle with DISC.
Yeah.
Even though the 4 basic components are the same, to me, there's something really simple about this system. And I've even simplified it from the people that I trained under. They still use the Greek rooted terms, sanguine and melancholy, phlegmatic. But I've just, said, I'm just going to do colors because everybody already knows their colors. And it's not a big stretch. If I say, yellow represents the bright, sunny personality, That's pretty easy to remember.
Yeah.
Or, blue is the deep thinkers, deep like the ocean.
Yeah.
Okay. Green, think peaceful green meadows. And most people already associate red as a power color.
Yeah.
There, what was that? 10 seconds? And I just explained the whole, the whole basics of the 4 types. It's easy and accessible.
So why am I taking your workshop again? So why am I taking your workshop again? You explained in 10 seconds. We're done. I'm just kidding.
The rest is application.
Plenty of more information in the workshop that you need to go through. And I think that kind of goes back to our topic last week in regards to, I read the book. Why do I got to take a workshop?
Mm-hmm.
And without the coaching, it's not truly going to sink in to a level where you can take it and apply it and use it in everyday life that will make sense and make you money. And I
think the workshops that I do too are different than some of yours and some of the other ones that we've taken, like with the MC training and mic skills and things like that, where it's really advantageous to have a small group because you want more mic time and want more personal coaching.
Yes.
For me, like when I had 18 people at the one in Winnipeg last month, or May, I guess it was, and it's just so fun to see things that I know are going to happen, but examples that I can't plan. Because with a group of 18, I have all 4 personality types represented.
Sure.
And I can split them into groups and give them an assignment. Like there's one thing that we do where I give everybody a poster board, and it's hilarious to me to see the differences. The blues, their answers come back nice and neat, perfect handwriting and real even columns. And the yellows, they're just like all over the map.
Yeah.
And the greens, whoever happened to be closest to the pen, wrote it down, and half of them are upside down. And, you get those added examples of the personality traits.
And the reds are fighting over who's going to do it.
Yeah, no, the reds were done a long time ago.
Okay. They're either choosing who's dominant and not, or they're going to be done right away. Yeah. Absolutely.
But it's just fun because you see it lived out in front of you, and that's why I love doing the larger groups. I mean, I did another one. That I only had 6 people there, and they got less of the group activity because I broke them into 2 groups of 3 a couple times, but it wasn't the same as having 4 or 5 people that were all the same type. But then they got the one-on-one coaching because I was able to go around the room and with each person, because they were all from one association that knew each other, and say, okay, let's talk about this person. What traits do you see? How would you analyze? Do I agree with you? And that was fun. So each one is a little bit different. And
it's important to understand whom before you sit. And I think that's really what your workshop helps us with, is understand how to better communicate with every personality type that we're going to run into. Because it's not just stuck to 4 quadrants. No,
we talk about blends.
Yeah, you got blends a lot
Mm-hmm.
in society. I mean, yes, there'll be a dominant typically, but there will be some that are 50-50 or 60-40 or right. So you got blends, and I think the sooner you can understand those differences, and also, as I had in a sales conversation this morning with a bride, understand your leverage or not, then you're able to better communicate with her and ultimately make that connection, which is what it's all about. I just had a bride on the phone this morning where, we got to talking. She has seen our videos. She loves our videos. She's got a mutual friend, a childhood friend of hers that works in our company and referred from a couple other people, but yet she's struggling on cost. Mm-hmm. And she's talking about she's looking at $500 to $700 budget for her DJ. And we start at typically triple that amount. And so I had to chat with her and basically gave her that understanding of the difference of what a $500 to $700 DJ was. And to use her quote, and please, if you hear this, free to use it, just attribute, of course, to one of my brides. She said, I'd rather spend money on creating memories, on making memories than making things.
That's so good that she could articulate that that way, and that she could process that those are her priorities. Because a lot of people are just so all over the map when they're planning a wedding,
and they get focused on the things, the
because
beauty
they can see it, because that's what they see on Pinterest, and that's what they've been seeing in magazines, and
So, and the funny thing is, even though she knows that we are now at least in her head, double to triple the cost. That at this part, at this point, she's already scheduled a phone call with me for next week.
Well, and she's already processing, okay, what else can I cut? She maybe didn't come right out and say it, but
she did actually.
That's where she's at. She's like, okay, well, people are going to remember the moments more than they're going to remember my favors or my flowers or, so she's figuring it out.
Well, and when you can have strong testimonies, and this is what I encourage DJs to do, is have a track record built up. I've got a really thick book here in the office of past reviews, and yet I had a mother of the bride literally on Facebook on our Tailored Weddings page just yesterday say, and she used this exact word, which I think is a great word. Allison posted a really cute wedding video where the bride was just dying laughing at the ceremony because of something was said by the groom, and just sent her into a fit of hysterics. And the mother of the bride, for a wedding I did back in 2008, posted, "We still marvel." I love that word.
That's
we marvel
fantastic.
at what you created for our daughter's wedding. That's called making memories versus
I love
fame.
that. Yeah, that's really cool.
So to save, and I just told that to the bride on the phone today. I said, look, to save, a few $100s now on the front end, to not be able to marvel at those memories in the back end, you're not going to recreate this again. You're not buying a pair of shoes. You can't take it back. 21 is next. We will see you live next week. You can check out Vickie and I together coming up at the Las Vegas DJ show. Go to LVDJ or LasVegasDJShow.com, Search hashtag LVDJ on Facebook. And we are also coming on to not Milwaukee, what the heck? We're heading out to Albany. We're heading out to Albany.
I wasn't sure if you were talking about Albany or Long Beach. Yeah, those are both coming up.
Yeah, we got both those coming up. We're going to be in Albany coming up in New York, New York, at the beginning of November.
And then just a couple weeks later.
We'll be on the Wedding and Event Professionals Cruise. Check out those locations as well. The Albany Adirondack Wedding Association. Just search for that on Facebook or Google.
I let you say that one because, I can say my name, but I can't say that.
You can't say Albany Adirondack Wedding Association?
No.
Say it 5 times fast. Come on, let's see it. Albany Adirondack Wedding Association.
Albany. Say it again. Maybe if I was looking at it, but no.
Albany Adirondack Wedding Association.
Adirondack. Albany Adirondack Wedding Association.
Adirondack. This has been a great podcast. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Bye.